want you to keep this spirit on, because there's so much to do. There's so many hurdles to cross, but there will be many victories at the end to claim. We promised you then that we will change our environmental policy by building transfer loading stations. The cynics and the doubting Thomases did not believe us. Some of the critical components of the promises were contained in our party's manifesto, which was to aggressively pursue a program of preventive health in order to reduce the number of people who took ill amongst us, and to ensure that those who choose to live, work and play in our center of excellence are healthy, vibrant and productive. That is the preventive health care policy. We don't want people to take ill, but we have built hospitals, we are ready if people fall ill, but we are saying we want Lagosians to live till very ripe old ages before they translate back to their makers. We pursued the implementation of that preventive healthcare policy by doing so many things. But one of the strategies that we employed was to manage waste disposal more effectively, to make Lagos cleaner. Because if Lagos is cleaner, clearly it will be freer of disease. One of the things we sought to do was to build transfer loading stations to contain the waste in the area of its generation and move them at night to prevent the trucks from being caught in traffic.
It was all a calculated attempt to take the program and project of waste management forward from where it was a few years ago. It was a deliberate attempt, and we had a design, a well-articulated design to really move it forward. We had our strategic plan and our action plan well stated. So it's all about designing where you want to be and having a clear vision of what and when you want to be there.
Waste management in any society is no child's play, as the method and constant management of waste goes a long way to determine how healthy the society is. It helps check the breakout of epidemic, adds beauty to the environment, amongst other reasons. Waste management can be said to be the appropriate method of disposing waste safely in such a way that makes it less harmful. It involves appropriate disposal of sewage and household refuse. It could come in form of waste treatment or energy conservation. The latter requires the recycling of the nutrients and the useful materials contained in domestic or industrial waste. As capital intensive as waste management is, no government at any level can afford to toy with it, considering the adverse effect it will have on both the government and the governed. Hence, the continuous innovations and efforts being put in place by various governments around the world, especially the developed countries. For a state like Lagos, which for quite a long while the management of solid waste had posed serious challenges, with heaps of garbage littering everywhere, Lagos was derided as the dirtiest city-state in the whole world, with President Olusegun Obasanjo giving it the sobriquet, urban jungle. The dirt did not only kill the aesthetics of the city, but had for years posed a serious health challenge to the millions of its inhabitants. Also, considering the fact that the state, according to research carried out in 2008, the report estimates that the city of Lagos, with about 18 million people, generates about 9,000 metric tons of waste daily. A daunting challenge, one will say, for the government of Lagos State. To many, it might look like an insurmountable challenge, but to the government of Lagos State, apart from management of the waste generated in the state, it sees the challenge as an opportunity to bring out new innovations which will be of great benefit to the people of Lagos. Lagos, however, seems to be overcoming that challenge, as it is now moving ahead to use its abundant waste to create wealth and enhance the environment through the landfill gas recovery and utilization project. The Waste to Wealth initiative of the Lagos State Government through the Lagos Waste Management Authority Lawman in partnership with the United Nations Environment Programme UNEP and the African Carbon Asset Development is expected to capture methane gas from waste and use it to generate electricity. The immediate benefits of this novel idea in our country are that it will prevent the release of greenhouse gases which endanger the environment, create jobs, and provide infrastructure through public-private partnership, the PPP, among other uses. Gas wells have been developed to manage and recycle municipal solid waste into clean energy. Landfill gas to energy project does not only mean decreasing the hazards towards our climate, they also serve as a substitute for fossil fuels such as natural gas. Landfill gas can be extracted from a variety of energy purposes such as generation of electricity with engines, turbines, microturbines, and other emerging technologies. It is a huge leap for wealth creation and environmental health in Lagos State as the authorities transit from traditional landfill disposal to modes of waste management that are economically rewarding and socially responsible. The project holds strong possibilities for job creation, reduction in urban poverty, wealth redistribution, and small business enterprise development. Globally, megaliters of raw sewage that would otherwise be pumped into the ocean and tons of organic waste that would normally go into landfills are being converted into electricity, fertilizer, and clean water. Based on the project plans released by the Lagos State Waste Management Authority, the implementation agency, Olushosun, Abulegba, and Solus landfill sites, as well as the Simpson transfer loading station, have been earmarked for electricity generation, while 20 other sites are to be established soon. Already, gas recovery has begun at Olushosun. A recycling plant also at Olushosun will process waste, that aluminium cans, cardboards, and other materials, into a variety of products. A compost facility is also earmarked for Ikorodu.
We've been able to convert 12% of what we generate into other useful purposes. Right now we're converting close to 900 tons of waste on daily basis, about between 900 and 1,000 tons of waste on daily basis, to about 250 bags of fertilizer. I will still re-emphasize it, that we are one of the biggest producers of fertilizers in this part of in Africa right now. We are producing 250 bags of compost on daily basis from our Odonguyon compost sites, and also we are converting plastics into, that means the purity sachet, we are converting them into the black liner waste bags that you see on the road in our litter bins, and the one people are going to start buying. And we are also establishing a bigger plastic recycling plant at Olushosun site, where we are going to take our people to see. And also we have other plants at Ojo and another one at Solus, where we are converting plastics. Then we are also baling paper and supplying the Jeba paper mill with paper from Olushosun, from our landfill site. That's what we are doing so far. We are converting about 12% of our waste so far into useful material. That is what we are able to capture on the formal level. But from the huge level of scavenging you have at Olushosun, I'm sure that the recoverable potential at Olushosun on daily basis, from what we have coming in, I'm sure the scavengers are recovering almost 20% of what comes to the dump site on daily basis. So that one is at the informal level. So we are bringing the informal sector to the formal sector very soon. So we're going to integrate everybody. We'll now be able to have the right picture of what we are capturing right now. It's the flagship waste management for this administration, and it has impacted positively by reducing the quantity of fuel that we use to collect. That we use to collect waste in that particular environment. So it has really been able to drive efficiency and effectiveness in waste management within the areas where we started from. The one we have at Simpson is impacting positively in the operation in the south eastern portion of the city. It has reduced their cost of operation, reduced their operational maintenance cost, and several things. While other ones that are coming up also will reduce our cost of waste management. And apart from reducing the cost of waste management, it will also create fresh jobs in those environments. And apart from these jobs, it's going to drive our material recovery facilities, our recycling program, and the rest of it. Because most of these transfer stations will also double as the material recovery facilities.
This place had been abandoned for so many years, but you can see that Lagos is automatically experiencing what I would call, from my perspective, the hand of God. There is a metamorphosis. Lagos has been rescued from the slum status that she had over the years, and we are so particularly touched that this time a lot of energy had been annexed to give Lagos mileage.
Waste management is one of the major aspects that one can think in life for the development of health aspect of the community or the generality of the public. And thank God Lagos State government has gone far ahead of most of the states and capitals of this West African region. And it's amazing for anybody to see what they have displayed on ground. You can see the waste collection trucks, you can see the conventional ones and non-conventionals, and the transfer station, which I think is the first one I have ever seen in Nigeria. And the only places you find this kind of transfer station is in Europe and America, and I think it's very, very, very impressive.
The boom in scavenging across the 4 major dump sites of Lagos has opened the government's eyes to the potential of recycling, as an emerging mega-city generates over 9,000 tons of waste per day. Due to this volume, scavenging has been booming as the rag pickers ransack the 4 major dump sites across the state to source for used items that could be sold and recycled. They reportedly have so much belief in the business that they refer to waste trucks as consignments. Having realized the importance of recycling, the Lagos Waste Management Authority, Lawman, initiated support for the public-private partnership participation and employment opportunity in resource recovery through the waste-to-wealth programs such as nylon plastic recycling, craft paper collection, and buyback programs from scavengers. Today, some of the qualified scavengers are manning recycling banks, being cited at various parts of the state as resourced persons, just as the state government has adopted the 3 R's: reuse, recycle, and reduce strategy in waste management.
It's fun. People praise them when they pass. People say, hey, what man can do, women can even do better. So you enjoy it when people praise you. They say, ah, iron lady, powerful woman, 4 man, 4 woman. They give you different kind of titles and you enjoy it.
It's an opportunity for women empowerment. Women should not stay idle. So it's an opportunity that's been given to us women. So we should come out. Other women, I encourage them to come out and do this job.
Lawman, Lagos State Waste Management Authority, they are really doing a perfect work in that they come to this area to pass the refuse in time, and that one has even enhanced the low rate of sickness. People no longer sick anyhow. Even this their driver, they come all the time to pack the crepan, and they are trying. They do an efficient work.
The place is so dirty until the commencement of Lawman in their full work. So everywhere is neat now. So I'm thanking the Lagos State government for bringing out money to purchase vehicles and the workers for the work.
You know, you can see the gutter. The gutter will be full of dirty. Even sometimes human being dead, dogs dead body. a lot of rubbish in the gutter. But these days, since the Lawman started the work, in fact, the air alone is, in fact, we don't know how to thank God.
They're really doing a great job. I can see the streets of Lagos are something to write home about. It's not like what we used to see in those days. Now we can move freely. No waste bins on the road that's scattered and littered everywhere. They are really doing a great job all over the streets of Lagos. I commend the effort of the government. They should keep it up.
No doubt, waste to wealth project is of inestimable value in a world faced with rapidly diminishing sources of revenue, severe environmental degradation, and frightening trends in the climatic system and unemployment. Turning waste into energy is a proven technology that has the potential to provide a significant amount of domestic energy needs while reducing the nation's overdependence on landfill. In Nigeria, where waste is at its grossest in the absence of strict enforcement of regulations and poverty is rife, it is compelling to embrace a project of the sort. This is indeed a welcome development, considering the fact that we have, over time, lived in a society where every conceivable object, material or substance, from household and human solid waste, discarded utensils, bottles, plastics, disused tires and electronics, to toxic industrial effluents, have been part of every inch of the landscape, with serious consequences for public health and safety. And often, some of these materials are burnt in the open, releasing hazardous smoke into the atmosphere.
Studied the source very well, and we took it through a process of waste taxonomy. And waste taxonomy is all about dividing and giving each the sources, giving them their peculiar names. And from there, we're able to analyze and classify waste properly. We classify them into domestic, industrial, commercial, construction, agricultural waste, marine waste, medical waste. So we know that in a city like Lagos, there are different classes of waste that must come, and you design different strategies to capture these different classes. Each class, you can analyze the classes further, and you can analyze domestic waste into several issues, and that gives you an idea about the waste stream. Like a typical one is the domestic waste, which is just a class of waste management. In domestic waste, you have a plastic, you have a paper, you have putrescibles, you have a vegetable, you have many things, all in domestic waste. So different classes can further be analyzed. So having a very good understanding about this kind of structure, we were able to design for different classes and who will do what at what time.
Moving from the Waste to Wealth initiative of the Lagos State government, another angle of waste management that has also been ignored in recent times is the medical waste. The medical waste, as the name implies, is the type of waste generated from hospitals and clinics. Hence, the proper management of medical waste is equally important like the management of general household waste. To this end, Lawman has regularly hosted Medical Waste Summit as it draws attention to proper sorting of medical waste. This is capped with the acquisition of plastic pellet and autoclave machines. As equipment for disposal of all sorts of medical waste, the autoclave machine was inaugurated at the new transfer loading station in Oshodi. The first of its kind in West Africa, the acquisition of this technology now affords government the opportunity to effectively dispose medical waste generated from hospitals and clinics across the state. But it should be noted that before the advent of the autoclave machine was the acquisition of the air-conditioned van specially made to aid the disposals of the medical waste in the proper way it should be done.
We make so much noise with medical waste because we believe that there's a lack of knowledge in that area, and we've been commingling medical waste with household waste, and believing that with our own understanding as professionals, we know that medical waste is a highly potent waste, very dangerous, and we've been able to trace also different kind of sicknesses in the city, mismanagement of these medical waste. So these are some of the areas we've observed, And we started with the publicity about 4 years ago, and awareness was our first strategy, taking from awareness to doing the right thing, and the right thing we've been doing so far, believing that gradually we will get to the ultimate aim of having a very good process. And right now we thank God that we've started segregating our medical waste very well, and apart from segregating very well, we now have the biggest medical waste treatment plant in this part of the world right now, and is already installed. So medical waste is a very, very dangerous waste that we've been able to capture.
No doubt, waste management is capital intensive, hence the clamor for the participation of the private sector in this in Lagos State. The Lagos initiative is particularly attractive and strategic because it is an integrated solid waste management. Therefore, opportunities for investment exist in all areas of waste management, and serious investors are welcome to submit their proposals. Some of the specific opportunities identified by the state government include waste conversion, waste transfer loading station, compactors, wheeler bins, motorized street sweepers, amongst others. Meanwhile, waste management in any society is a continuous process which should be a joint effort of everybody. It should not be left to the government alone.
We should pay for our waste, and if you are not satisfied with the job we're doing for you, call 5577, toll free. It's free. You call us, we'll make sure we stand up to it. We're not claiming to be perfect, but one thing we can assure you, we are responsible and we are responsible.